We're joined by Nigel Farage, who, after all, led one of the leaders of the Brexit campaign. Mr. Farage, thank you for joining us. You're not standing as a MP, of course. What did you make of Paul Nuttall's leadership of UKIP? UKIP doesn't seem to have been doing very well.
No, I thought he was strong. I thought he was robust. But I don't think he had time to establish himself with the voters who still don't quite know who he is. So, no, I've got no criticisms of Paul, although the party itself, the people around him, I think organisationally pretty weak.
What's going to happen to Brexit now? Theresa May called this election in order to pursue the kind of Brexit that you wanted, and it doesn't look as if she's going to get the kind of majority she was asking for.
Well, what a huge error to pick a Remainer to lead a Brexit party in a Brexit election. Massive mistake. I think that if we do get a Corbyn coalition, then Brexit is in some trouble.
And if Brexit is in some trouble, will you come back into active politics and fight for what was voted for only last summer?
I would have absolutely no choice but to do exactly that.
Well, that's interesting. We've got to go. I'm sorry, we may be able to come back to you. We've got to go to Battersea. We've got a result. 80% in favour of Remain, whether that's significant or not. I want to go back to Nigel Farage, who we interrupted for that result. Mr. Farage, thank you for waiting. The last thing you said was very tantalising. You said you'd have to come back into active politics. That's what you plan, is it?
Well, it's not what I plan. It's not what I want. I was, thrilled to lead UKIP, to pressure Cameron into offering a referendum, into working in that referendum campaign, into winning. We've triggered Article 50. I thought it was all done. Mrs May went for the big majority. She was found out, I think, in this campaign. And what's remarkable about Corbyn's achievement is he's getting Remainers in London voting for him, but he's getting UKIP voters around the rest of the country voting for him too. Now, of course, he's not going to be able to form a government on his own if it works out that way. But if we get a coalition with him and the SNP and whoever else, then we may well be looking down the barrel of a second referendum. Is
the whole Brexit campaign, the Brexit decision, is it all in jeopardy now? Is the timetable, does it mean anything anymore?
Well, I mean, let's see. There's a long way to go. But I do think this. I think, let's say the other result happens. Let's say May scrapes through with a small majority or forms a minority government, I don't know. I'm not sure that her credibility is going to be very strong in Brussels. So I think, yes, the timetable, whatever happens here, is likely to get pushed back.
But how confident are you that there'll still be what's called the hard Brexit that you wanted and that you think you won a year ago?
Well, I was always a bit suspicious with Mrs May as to whether we'd get it. I mean, she was asked in the campaign repeatedly, having backed Remain, did she now believe in Brexit? And not once did she say yes. She just said she was carrying out the will of the people. This may prove to be unfinished business.
Vicar of Bray, you think she is?
I do, yes.
Vicar's daughter, Vicar of Bray.
Very much so, yes. And in the end, I think, when Corbyn said that they would end free movement, when Corbyn said that under Labour we would leave, I think he kind of boxed off Brexit as an issue for UKIP voters, many of whom did not see the party as being relevant in this campaign. And ultimately, I think the shock we're seeing here tonight is all about personality. And, UKIP voters want somebody they think is speaking for them. They want somebody who is for change. And what Theresa May tried to do was to be the establishment figure. Corbyn, I thought, through the campaign, looked comfortable in his own skin. He actually appeared to be enjoying it. And the Prime Minister came across as insincere and, frankly, robotic.
Andrew Marr has a question for you.
Could I ask you, Nigel Farage, whether you think those very pro-Brexit, strong Brexit MPs in the Tory party will now try to remove Theresa May as Prime Minister?
Yes, and I also think, actually, Andrew, I think on both sides of the debate within the Conservative Party, the Prime Minister's credibility as leader of that party is fatally damaged.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Farage. Let's...
Big Man Tyrone here. Make sure to subscribe to the wicked, awesome Robin Hood UKIP YouTube website. He exposes the leftist crops on the British Brainwashing Corporation. Nice.